Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. In this video I'm going to show you how to make a cheese and spinach pie. And it's cheese and spinach because it's not actually using ricotta as you would normally use in a cheese and spinach pie. It uses tofu, and the tofu is super high in protein, so it's a really good high protein meal. This video was requested by my sister, so Talia, if you're watching, this video is for you. And it's super tasty, super delicious, and really, really easy to make. So I hope you enjoy this video and give it a thumbs up if you like it.
So as always, all of the measurements for everything and the ingredients will be in the description below. But for this recipe, you're going to need olive oil, some nutritional yeast, a tiny bit of mustard, just for a little bit of flavor, some tomato sauce, some tofu, some kale, puff pastry, garlic, and onion. You'll also need some milk, so I'm just using oat milk here. And this is the puff pastry I use. It's by Pampers and it's vegan. And this is the baking dish I'm using. It's 23 centimeters times 35 centimeters and can fit 3 sheets of puff pastry. So 1.5 on the bottom, 1.5 on the top. And you're going to let these thaw out first. Preheat your oven to 180 degrees Celsius so it's nice and warm. And then you're going to press in, once the sheets have thawed, press the bottom layer into the dish, and you're going to bake that for 10 minutes. Make sure you keep an eye on it. Then you're going to start dicing your onion. This is just how I dice the onion, so very small. You don't want big chunks of onion in the pie because that's not tasty. And then you're going to fry that in a pan with some olive oil until it's nice and translucent, and there's the garlic in there as well. And you're going to cook this for about 5 minutes on a medium heat. Then you're going to chop up the kale into small chunks and then chop up the tofu. It doesn't matter if the tofu is not chopped up perfectly because later on we're going to crumble it so it looks more like a crumbed feta. And then once you've done that, you're going to check on the onions. Once they're translucent, add in the kale and give that a stir. Make sure you cook the kale really, really well because you don't want bits of raw kale in the pie. And then crumble up the tofu with your fingers so it looks more like feta. By this stage, the puff pastry bottom layer should be ready, so you can take that out of the oven and you can see that it's puffed up a little bit, which is good. Then you're going to add the crumbled up tofu to the kale mix. And then you're going to add the nutritional yeast, the tomato sauce, and the mustard. Just a little tiny bit of mustard. And then you're going to add the milk. So depending on which tofu you use, if you use a really soft tofu, you might not need to add as much milk. But this was quite a crumbly tofu, so I added quite a bit. You want this mixture to be a little bit more wet than dry, so don't be scared if there's a little bit too much water at the bottom because it'll cook in the oven. And then you're going to put the top layer on and stab it with a fork and then cook it in the oven for 20 minutes until it's nice and golden brown. And when it comes out of the oven, I like to cover it with a tea towel just so it's less crispy. I kind of like it a little bit more, it's still crispy but not like super crumbly. And this is the finished product, a delicious, healthy, homemade, tasty pie. So I hope you've enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!